What's up, Dogelon Warriors? Happy Friday. Let's get to another segment of Q&A from the Dogelon community. So I like to do this on Fridays because I can take questions I get from either videos on here throughout the week, or if I don't get those, then I'll get questions from friends outside of YouTube or on places like Reddit, where questions are asked all the time. So in this case, I got a couple questions from a friend outside of YouTube, and then I took a couple commonly asked questions from Reddit throughout my time being on there. All right, so the first question is, why does the crypto market tend to be volatile leading up to a Fed interest rate decision? And my answer to that is nervous money. What is nervous money? Basically, it's a lot of investors that sell their bags before the interest rate decision happens because they're scared that the price will drop depending on what happens with the decision of the rate cut. And by doing that, you're basically dropping the price. So it's like a mind game if you think about it, right? So you think that the price will drop depending on what happens, but you're selling your bags, which will drop the price either way, right? So, and that counts as a sell-off, in other words. So that's kind of why it's volatile leading up, and even during or after the rate cut decision also. Now, if let's say there's a quarter basis point rate cut with no bad news out of the press conference, the price will go up. So that means whoever sold their bags now has to buy back at a higher price. And that's a losing game. That's how you lose money in crypto. You'll never become financially free by doing stuff like that. It's better to hodl and just keep growing your portfolio. All right. Question 2 is, what are long and short positions in crypto? I have a couple articles I'm going to put in the description below that have to do with this. The first article actually has to do with Wednesday and the rate cut decision. So the rate cut was great and all, but there was the press conference where Jerome Powell said that the Federal Reserve is not looking as of right now to have a Bitcoin reserve. And he's saying maybe Congress can do something. But, we'll see what happens come January, of course. I think you can still make that happen, especially with Elon Musk being at the head of that table with anything crypto. So, anyway, the first article I got was that over $1 billion was liquidated on Wednesday before, during, and after the rate cut decision. So I believe it was like 850 million were long positions, and then I believe like 150 million in that range were short positions. Okay. Now what happened there? What are long and short positions in crypto? Well, you have to look at that article and what happened on Wednesday to get the actual definition. All right. So basically, the longs panic sold. Okay. A lot of anybody who had a long-term price thinking that the price would go up, they basically sold their bags. All right. They sold their bags early. They basically had a price set for when the decision came that the price Bitcoin's price, or any price in this term, would go up. But in reality, because of the bad news, it went down. So that is why over $850 million worth of longs were liquidated. Now, the shorts sold beyond the shorting price of their token. Okay, so basically, what happened was, the price dropped. So you would think, why did they get shorted? Well, most people didn't think that the price would drop so fast, and that's what happened. You had a ridiculous price drop on Wednesday after the bad news. So whoever shorted Bitcoin, for instance, had a price set low where they thought the price would drop to that level or right around that level and it wouldn't go any farther. But in reality, the price dropped way low. So they had to sell their bags real fast. And that's what happened. The shorts sold beyond the shorting price of the token. And the longs panic sold when the price was dropping. Okay? That's what happened there. Now, question 3 is question 3 is why does Dogelon Mars not have a white paper on CoinMarketCap? And is that a big deal? So think of this. A white paper for any coin is the DNA. Okay, that is the roadmap. That is the DNA of the coin, the project, whatever the developers have out there. It's all right there on the white paper. Now, when you first get into crypto, you'll learn a lot about, what's their white paper? Read their white paper, right? And when you do, you go on to CoinMarketCap, because CoinMarketCap, basically, with every coin, has a white paper to show you what the roadmap is. Like I said, it's the DNA of the coin. But in this way, Dogelon Mars doesn't have a white paper on CoinMarketCap. They do have a wolf paper, though. It's called a wolf paper. It's not on CoinMarketCap, but you can look that up online, and I'm going to put an article. I'll actually have the wolf paper itself as a link that you can get in the description. For those that went through Shiba, if you guys remember, Shiba Inu didn't have a white paper on CoinMarketCap before it blew up in May of 2021. It didn't have one. But when it started moving up, the price started going up and all that, they did release a white paper on the CoinMarketCap. But it doesn't matter. If you can find it on Google, if you can find whatever, wolf paper, white paper, whatever, if you can find the roadmap, and you can read it, then, you can see it for yourself. You should be able to do your own research anyway. But, of course, people think it's a lot more official if you have the white paper right there on CoinMarketCap, because it's the mecca of everything with crypto, and every coin's on there. So, question number 4, and by the way, that is not a big deal, okay? So, question number 4 is, when do you know the most bullish time of the crypto cycle is here? When do you know that? I like to think of it as a couple of things. Number 1, the volume and the buying pressure is at stagnant highs, okay? There is so much volume coming into your coin, let's say, in this case, Dogelon Mars. Come 2025, you'll see the volume, okay? And you'll see the prices. The prices and the volume will work together. There's never just one or the other that you look for. They will come together where you'll see parabolic prices going up. Number 1, that's when you know the most bullish time in crypto is here, is when you start seeing parabolic prices. But then you also see volume of like hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars for your token that you've never seen before. Okay, that's basically the parabolic part of the bull run that you're in. And that's when you know it's here. You will know because it will hit you real fast. The parabolic run, when it gets here, it will hit you in the face. It always does. Now, what you're seeing right now is you're not really seeing prices unless you have certain tokens out there. And for instance, Pepe, okay, which I've said in the past. Pepe is one of those coins where the price is, it seems like every month or every 2 months, the price just keeps going up and up and up. You haven't had that with Dogelon Mars yet. But you will see that, and when you start seeing prices going into, let's say, 6 zeros 5, 6 zeros 8, 5 zeros 2, 5 zeros 5. When you start seeing prices like that move quick, you know you're in the parabolic stage, okay? And that can last a while too. Like I said, the parabolic stage can last like 9 months, all right? 8, 9 months out of a year. So it can take a while, but it'll be elongated as well. It won't just be all at once. It can be elongated, depending, of course, on news drops and just news in general in the world, good or bad, and Bitcoin, of course. So that is number 4. Number 5 is, how often does a bull run occur? My answer to this and many other people's answers are the same, and that is every 3 to 4 years on average. Now, what starts off a bull run? I could put that as a question as well. What starts off a bull run? Well, it's Bitcoin's halving event. So before the actual parabolic year, you have the Bitcoin halving year, which we're just about to end. So Bitcoin's halving, I believe, was April, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was April 18th. I believe it was April 18th was the halving event. But it lasts a whole year. Bitcoin it'll take 3, 4, 5 months for Bitcoin's price to actually value twice as much. All right, and now you're starting to see it because Bitcoin has hit over to $108,000 from where it was earlier in the year in the 60s, all right, in the 50s. So, you know, that's a huge difference, of course. But how often does a bull run occur? Well, it starts with Bitcoin. Other coins as well can have a bull run start before, like in this case again, Dogelon hasn't had its bull run yet. We have been sitting in the teens or the low 2000s for months and months and months. And we have not seen that big parabolic rise yet. But like I said, some coins will go through that at different times, and some coins won't. So 3 to 4 years on average would be your typical bull run. I think, well, for instance, the bull run that we're having right now started with the longest bear market ever, with 19 months. So this was a long cycle, to think about. Okay, it was a long cycle. Hopefully the next bull run cycle we have will be shorter. Remember, we had COVID during this last cycle to worry about. And then we had the FTX issue, and there's a couple other things there too. But yeah, this was a elongated bear market that's making this bull run longer than it really should be. But we're not complaining about it. So, but yeah, that is the answer to how often does a bull run occur. Basically, 3 to 4 years. If you're looking at the actual bull run itself, it's like a year and a half. But the actual cycle itself is 3 to 4 years. So that's all the questions I have for today. Now I want to get to the correction that we continue to have this morning, okay? And I did some math here. I did some measuring of what actually happened. And if you think about it, we just had a major correction. We did. And how do we know it was major? Well, I measured out from when the real start of the price sell-off happened. And that was on December 12th till this morning on the 20th. And I measured this out, and it was a almost 42% correction, if you want to look at it that way, which is an absolutely ridiculous correction to have. That you will usually see corrections throughout a bull run of like 20%, okay, 15-20%, maybe 30%. But when you start getting into the 40 range, that's a major major drop. And you'll see a lot of paper hands come out then and sell their bags. And you have to buy these. You really have to buy corrections like this up when you have the opportunity. I would not be scared if I was anybody right now, because in my point of view, this correction is over. All right, I cannot see, and a lot of other people cannot see this price dropping any more than it did. That was a huge sell-off in the amount of days that we had. So at this point, we got to look up, all right? As a community and in crypto, everybody got hit. Everybody got hit in this correction, and it was substantial. But now, if you bought the dip, now you have gains coming at you as the price goes up. And man, I'm telling you, I'm pretty ecstatic to see what the next big move is here for Dogelon Mars and the crypto world in general. Especially knowing that we could still have a Santa rally, even though we have 5 days until Christmas. We still could have a really good last week and a half, I would say, of December. And then January, like I said, this is setting up to be incredibly bullish January with everything that's coming up. Man, just put on your seatbelts, because this is gonna get really interesting. But I predict we're gonna be seeing a lot of green as well. I don't think we're gonna be seeing. If we're gonna see some red, but you're not gonna be seeing red like this. We're gonna be seeing a lot of big green days. A lot of really big green candles ahead. So that's all I got to say about this. Thank you for watching. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. This is a long one. This is basically a riff video as well. So yeah, man. I mean, this was a rough morning to have to go through. But you know what? I bought earlier this morning when I woke up, and I feel so much better knowing that my gains are going to be bigger now, knowing that I bought at such a low price for Dogelon Mars. So again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Let's get it.